Hello, guys, and welcome to episode 12. Today, we're going to talk about New Year goals.
Woohoo!
What are your three things?
So first, um, I'm in the midst of creating a reading nook, like my little reading corner slash enjoyment center, entertainment center, etc. Um, because every time I try to read in bed, I end up falling asleep, and it's not cool.
For real.
And the second thing is my new Keurig. I have it for my room, specifically for like my reading nook.
Oh,
Because I love
cute.
the smell of coffee. And, like, if I want a cup of joe, I can just, make one. And the third thing, mm, what's the third thing? Uh, I'm gonna repeat it. I love my Kindle so much. Like, I honestly prefer reading on the Kindle instead of a real book. It makes me read so much faster, and like I know exactly what page I'm on. If I want to look up a word, I just like press down on the word. It's just so convenient, and it fits in like my jeans, the pockets.
Really?
Yes, and it's waterproof, so you can like take it to the beach or whatever, or maybe the hot tub if you have one. So, anyways, yeah, that's
Nice.
my three. What about you?
I love that. My three things. So, the number one for me has been tea. I've been drinking tea like almost every day. I got some from Trader Joe's, and I don't know, it's been nice because I was drinking a lot of caffeine, like coffee, and I feel like it made me feel kind of like sick, and I didn't, so I've just been drinking like decaf tea, so it's been pretty good though. And then the second thing is Touchland hand sanitizers. And at first, I did not understand the hype because I was like, that shit is so expensive for this little bottle. But now that I have it, I'm like, I don't think I'll go back. Like, I like doing spray hand sanitizer, and there's alternatives out there. I think you have a spray one from Bath and Body Works, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know.
Yeah, but I get what you're saying because like mine's round and it takes a lot of space in like bags.
Oh, okay.
So like the shape of that touchland, like it's like slim, you know. I think
Yes,
that's
it's
good
perfect.
design.
Yeah, it fits in like all my purses, my bags, my tote bag, all that. And it's like not gonna leak. I like it. They have a good amount of scents. I did the math. So you get 500 sprays out of it apparently, and it costs $10 for one. So it's 0.02 cents for every spray. So it's kind of bad, but
Oh
not too
wow.
bad. Yeah,
It's not even 1 cent, so at least
true.
that's better
It's not
than.
even a penny. But yeah. And then my third thing is Tower 28, their lip gloss. I love it. I now understand the hype. I'm like, I'm a big like lip gloss, lip stain, lip balm girl. I don't love lipstick, but that is really nice. It's kind of like all in one. It's really like the formula is so good. And the color, ooh. But yeah, 10 out of 10 recommend that.
Okay, I might need to
Yeah, you
get
should.
it.
It's awesome. But yeah, those are my three things. But okay, here's a tip I have. So, setting goals for the whole year can be really overwhelming. So, something you can try this year is maybe setting monthly goals instead. That way, you can check things off faster. And I do understand, like, some things aren't supposed to be on a check off list. Like, if your goal is mental health, that's not something you can really just check off. But what you could do instead is, like, oh, I want to read books this year, but that's just kind of like a very broad statement. So what you could say is, oh, in January, my goal is to read one book. In February, my goal is to read two books, etc., etc. Or like if your goal is to like better your mental health, you could be like, oh, in January, I'm going to do self-care things that I love. In February, I'm going to take time to go on like dates by myself. Or in March, I want to go see a therapist. Like it can be monthly increments. It doesn't have to be a broad year, you know?
I really love that. That's a great perspective, and I feel like people forget about like a New Year's goal doesn't necessarily mean like by the end of next year you have to
Yeah,
have everything checked off. I mean, if you go by the month, it'd be so much easier, like you're
for
saying.
sure.
Um, I guess I only have one tip besides like my New Year's goal. So my tip is if you live with a roommate or you have a family or significant other, whatever, you ask them to write your New Year's resolutions because they know what you need to work on and you know what they need to work on. So, like, you just swap.
True.
This always doesn't always work. This always doesn't always work.
No, I see what you're saying. Like, that's actually a really good idea because some people, like, especially if you have a partner or like you're really close with a family member, like your mom or dad or brother or whatever, like, you can, and you, how do I say this? Yeah, that's like, that is a really good idea because you could take what they have to give and they're like, "Oh, I noticed like you say you're gonna go read a book, but instead you just sit on your phone on TikTok." Because that's me. So maybe Matt, like my partner, he could realize that and then make a goal for me. I think that's a really good idea. I guess I never thought about that. And you can like edit it yourself to be fit your own needs as
Yeah.
well. But seeing somebody else's perspective is also really cool.
I think it's about like holding each other accountable so
True.
that they can actually achieve those goals. And sometimes people are blindsided by their quote unquote negative sides or flaws. And there's nothing wrong with that. But if you're a person who's willing to like make improvements to yourself, then maybe that's something you want to look into, like trading uh resolutions.
Yeah, for sure. It's a really good
I
idea.
don't like saying resolutions.
New Year's goals, I guess.
It makes you sound like you're a broken person.
Yeah,
So I'm sorry I said that. Just goals, New Year goals.
exactly. I think that kind of ties into something that I was thinking about was like a lot of times I feel like people think, "Oh, um New Year's resolutions, like you said, like resolutions is kind of a weird word to use because it's about like reinventing yourself. But New Year's isn't about that. You don't have to reinvent yourself for the new year. You just could work on things or better yourself, but you don't have to
Yeah.
reinvent yourself. Like you don't have to fix what's broken, like you said. So I think that's a really good idea. People need to realize that you don't necessarily need to um change things about you if they're good already. Like if you already have a healthy eating habit, why would you just make a bunch of resolutions to fix that? Like stay on track. You can make a few goals for yourself, of course, but I don't know if that makes sense, but it makes sense in my head.
No,
So
it does.
another tip I have is like it is a nice time to kind of reflect on the year like 2022 that we've had and what you did, what you want to do differently, things I don't know, whatever. But for me personally, I don't necessarily remember the goals that I set for this year, like for 2022. So I'm like, because I didn't write it down, I didn't do anything. So a pro tip I have for the next year is maybe if you do have things that you want to work on or whatever like want to like move forward towards, you can make like a little vision board. Like let's say your goal is to move into an apartment, you could have like an apartment that you want and the vibe you want listed on like a vision board and you can write things down. I feel like when you actually write it down or see it like pictures of it, it helps you visualize it and work towards it more. But if it's just an idea you say and it's floating around, it's not going to do you any good.
Yeah, I like that idea. I think I'm gonna actually implement that for like a vision board
Oh
because
yes.
something I can look at it every day and kind of manifest it. Just because I feel like writing down goals, I'll forget about it in like 2 hours that I
Yeah.
did that. So, um, I don't know. I got some space in my room. I'm gonna
I
do
love
that.
that. You should send photos when you do that.
Okay, well, I'll probably like go to CVS or find some pictures on Pinterest that like I enjoy that look like
Yeah.
something that would be my life. And yeah,
Nice. I actually have seen people make TikToks like they show like a photo they have from their vision board and their photo that they took this year. Like compare like whether it be like them like they had this photo on Pinterest they saw of like a girl in the water at the beach and it's like really aesthetic. And then their camera roll has a photo similar. It's not like necessarily copying, but like they took that vision and they made it their own. And I
yeah,
think they're just showing like side by side comparisons. I don't know. So I thought that was kind of cool.
that is pretty cool. I do believe like anything is possible, but it takes like it's got everything's got to line up
True.
basically. So, what are your goals this year?
Um, okay. I'll just kind of go down the list. So, one of my goals is to read 15 books this year, and like I said at the beginning, that can be like overwhelming, and I might even read more, but I kind of wanted to set my goal lower because I know how I get during this school year and I might not have time to read a lot. So, I was like, "Oh, well, that's about 1.25 books a month." So like one and a fourth of a book. I'm like, okay, that's more manageable when I view it by month. And either way, we're already reading like a book a month for this podcast. So I'm like, oh, there's 12 books right there that I'll read for this podcast, maybe. And then three extra books I'll just read for like leisure or fun. So I'm like, okay, so that's my goal there. Another one, this is gonna be hard for me, is to only rebuy makeup purchases, like products, sorry, only rebuy makeup products, not buy new things all the time. Like if I run out of a lip gloss, then I can buy a new lip gloss. If I run out of a concealer, then I can buy a concealer. I don't know if this is gonna work because I feel like I'm still building my makeup collection since I'm like more recently getting into it, like maybe in the past like year or two. And so I'm like, I just want everything. I mean, it's
Right.
hard. So we'll see how that goes. I'm not really sure, but I'm gonna try my best.
I'm gonna be a horrible influence on you.
Yeah. You can be like, oh my god, this just dropped. We should get it. But we'll see how that goes. That's just like, and that's another thing is like, oh, it kind of like gives me a guideline to follow, but I don't necessarily, if I break that goal, I'm not gonna like, it's not the end of the world because there might be this new concealer that's released and I'm like, shit, I want it even though I have four concealers sitting right here. We'll see. Another goal I have is to take 3 days a month for like a just a me day, like a spa day. So I'll do a face mask, I'll like sit and read my book or something. Because I feel like I don't always take time for me when I need to. And I realize I heard this quote. It says, creative people need time to do nothing. And I was like, that is so like influential to me because I'm like, shit, sometimes I feel my schedule too much, but I feel like being a more creative person, I just need time to sit there and do nothing. Have a little face mask on, sip on whatever drink I'm drinking, you know.
Oh, yes, most
So
definitely.
I think that's a good
As
goal.
Ask your husband to massage your entire body.
Exactly. Um, sorry, this is kind of like a lot of little goals that I have. Also working out 5 days out of the week. I was pretty good about it this month. Except for like the spring time because I just kind of wanted time just to my family and for me. But that is my goal. We shall see. Because some days I be hella lazy. And then my last goal that I had, and I might make more, I might cut some of these, is to run 20 days in February. I don't
20
know why,
days.
I just want to.
I guess you could just run around the block. You didn't say how
Exactly.
many miles or minutes.
Exactly. That's why I'm like, I didn't want to say run 1 mile for 20 every 20 or however you need to say that, but run a mile each time I go. Because I feel like that's not really obtainable for me. Or some days, if I'm like in a really good mood and I want to run like pop out 2 or 5 miles, I don't know. I don't know. But yeah, those are my goals. What are your goals?
Okay, so my first goal is to save 10K by August.
Nice. That's a good goal.
Yeah, I need to do really good in saving money. So,
You got this.
um, my second goal is to pay off my student loan. It's definitely feasible, so I know this goal is achievable,
That's
at
good.
least by the end of the year.
Nice, dude. Good luck with that. Student loans suck, but if you can manage that, that's more power to you.
Thank you, thank you. Well, and my third goal is to read 36 books this year.
Nice.
And I actually started reading. I don't know how I should do this, but I could start from the beginning of the year, or I can start from December because I started reading in December a lot, like on my own like
Yeah.
time. So maybe from December to the end of November, maybe I could do it like that.
Hmm.
Or I could just start from the new year, start fresh. But I feel like over the summer, definitely I'll be having a lot of time to be able to read. So
That's nice. Yeah.
I want to try something like that.
That'd be
Um,
awesome.
I forgot what number I'm at, but my other goal is to sleep better. No more sleeping past midnight because it's been a bad habit and sleep deprivation and catching up is just not good for me. Next goal is kind of like complementary to sleeping better is to wake up early, 6 a.m. at the earliest and 7 a.m. at the latest on weekdays,
Nice. Yeah.
just to keep a schedule going. Um, the next goal is to learn self control with purchases, especially in the spring semester. So what I'm doing is January through April, I'm gonna do a spending freeze where I can't go out and buy food. I can't um, buy anything online. I can only buy stuff in person. Um, I can get groceries though, so if I wanted to cook something, I can do that because it
Yeah.
teaches me a skill and it's rewarding in the end, in a way. Um, I can't buy coffee, which that's another one of my goals. Um, drink coffee at home, no more for at least 6 months, and then maybe after, because that passes after my little spending freeze.
Yeah.
It'll allow me to focus on school instead of like, ooh, I need this, I need that. Because no, you don't, Joe. You just want to fulfill that emptiness, that void with materialistic things.
I know.
It's all, you know, it's all true.
Yeah. Anyways.
Um, and my other goal is to enjoy life more, go outside, walk, cook random foods, read, um, stargazing. I want to go stargazing,
Aw.
but I don't want to do that by myself.
Yeah,
It's
it's kind of
scary.
scary.
Yeah. Um, and the last thing, you mentioned journaling, and I also wrote that down.
Nice.
I want to journal when I feel like it, and I feel like journaling like most of the day, like, and I'm not limiting anything to myself. Like, it doesn't have to be like, oh, write an entire page about your day. It's just gonna be like, if I want to put something down, the most memorable thing, I'll just write like one or two sentences and be like, Friday, whatever today's date was.
Hmm.
Just simple, dear diary moment.
I love that. Yeah.
Because if I go back and read it, I'll be like, oh yeah, I remember that happened that day. And I have really bad memory, so I don't know, it'd be cute just
That would
to
be.
reflect. And I think that's it for me.
Those are great goals.
Oh, I'm gonna do, I didn't write this down, but I did this last year. Well, I guess we're still in the 2022, but yeah, last year. Um, to avoid sodas.
Mm,
No more sody pops. And I went like 9 months without drinking soda, so I'm gonna try and do the full year because
nice.
I kind of broke at like the 9 month mark.
I need it.
Well, I didn't need it, but I was at Jinjin, the restaurant,
Yeah.
and for some reason it seemed like more difficult for them to get me a cup of water, and they had just like soda cans in the fridge. So I was like, "Ugh, okay, I'll just take the soda."
Yeah. I get that.
Yeah. So I was like, dang it, I just broke my streak. But I mean, it's fine. I was proud that I didn't do that. Because
Yeah,
some
that's
people
really good.
drink soda like it's water.
Josh, my brother.
Like,
I don't know.
I would say this winter break, I've been drinking a lot of Diet Cokes and Coke Zero and stuff like that.
Yeah,
So, like, this is the most I've ever drank soda the entire year. So, I mean, it's the winter break. Who cares?
exactly. I, for me, I just don't like soda. Like, I do not like the way Dr. Pepper tastes, but I do like Diet Coke. That's like the only soda I'll probably like ever drink. Sometimes I'll drink like a root beer. But I don't
Yeah.
know. I like sparkling water, and I like
Ew.
I
I'm not
like
a
tea.
fan. I
So
do
maybe
love
that's why.
tea.
Yeah, it's yummy.
I love tea. I love jasmine tea with honey. It is so good. Iced
That
or
combo.
hot. Yes.
Agreed.
All right. Thank you guys for listening to this episode. We hope that some of our ideas help you um, create your own ideas of some goals that you want to implement in your new life. Or the new year, not your new life. My bad. But yeah, we hope you enjoy and keep calm and carry on.
Those like Facebook memes. But yes, have a good start to your new year. We hope everything's going good. See you next episode.
Happy New Year. Bye bye.